Hello, my little flowers of love. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome back to Thursday Night Live. I am still, just barely, but still, Stopher Cavins psychic medium. I missed you guys. How's everybody doing tonight? All right. It's probably, I know I say this like every week. I think I'm actually going to try to bring this in, land this plane within under an hour tonight. So we'll keep it short and extremely sweet. We'll do the readings. We'll share the energy. It will be fantastic. Hey, Melody Lemonade, thank you for being here. Liz Reeves, thank you. Marnie, as always. Hi, it's Alicia from Indiana, of course. Thank you for being here. And the reason I'm out of breath is because I had something in the oven and I had to take it out. So I went downstairs and I came upstairs. Let me get a sip of water. Fantastic. Sally G, thank you for being here. So I'm going to try to get into the readings a little quicker tonight. Of course, I'll give my little spiel. I've already got, looks like Jacob wants to come on. I'm going to try to steer away, full disclosure, from mediumship a little bit, just because energetically feeling a little more tired. No, not cookies, Liz. Chocolate croissant. Chocolate croissants. Not from scratch, like Trader Joe's, something. Anyway, I may steer away from the mediumship just a little bit and do the psychic and the, that kind of connection more so. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, so there's two ways to get a reading. The most, I guess the best way, or the way to ensure you get a reading, is to come onto the live stream with me. There is a pinned comment. It's in dark blue as you're watching this on YouTube. It's at the top or bottom. Anyway, it's got the StreamYard link right there. You'll come into a kind of green room, back room, whatever you want to call it, and I will bring you on as they come in. Another way is to, and many of you are already doing it, is to put your question and your request into the comments, put them in all caps, and throw some emojis on there so they're nice and colorful and I can easily see them, because eyesight is not getting better as I get older. All right. Alicia, got it. Myra, got it. CJ, got it. There are some others that I've starred, so we'll get into those. I read them as not necessarily in order, but as Spirit kind of calls me to read them. So there's no particular order. I try to get to as many as possible. And if you don't get your question answered, come back next week. There's always next week, right? The croissants are done. All right. So, yeah, so that's that. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a police officer, not a therapist, not a licensed realtor. I'll read on all those subjects and topics, the health and wellness. If you have a question about how your legal situation is going, you want timelines, I will give you that. I will read on that. All that different stuff, I will read on it. I have to say, it's not professional advice. I'm not making diagnosis for anybody. It is just my objective opinion of your energy. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. If you need those kinds of professionals, please consult with them. All right. There's some good ones out there, so go find them. What else? If you would like a private reading, if this isn't the forum for you to get your reading, you would like a private session with me, I offer 30-minute sessions, 45-minute sessions, 50-minute sessions where we can do mediumship and psychic. I have pet energy healing sessions for our cats and dogs and animals that are still here in the physical, and you want to learn about what's going on with them, kind of like having a conversation with them energetically. We can do that. I also, for the folks that want a more cost-effective approach and maybe don't want to sit for a psychic session, I do have the e-reading, which you'll just go to my website, pop in your 4 questions, and I will return with a recorded video of your reading, answering your questions and giving you all the information surrounding those questions within 2 to 3 days. Sometimes more if I get busy, but within that time frame is what I shoot for. All right, what else? I do have some classes coming up. If you don't have to be like an already developing medium to hop into one of these courses. I've got 2 coming up in early March. I believe it's starting March 2nd and March 3rd. They are each 4-week classes, 2 hours each session. So one will be like every Wednesday night. The other one will be every Tuesday night for 4 weeks consecutively. The first one is a beginner class. Like I say, you do not have to have any prior experience with mediumship. It's kind of, dipping your toes in the water. It is also good for people that have a little bit of experience, just kind of getting that base and learning and putting things into the practical, so we will do practice sessions. And then there's the intermediate advanced also for folks that want to kind of take their mediumship and psychic abilities to the next level. So those are available on my website, along with the one-on-one services as well. StopherCavins.com. For the education, just for the courses, go to the education tab. They're all right there. If you have any questions, you can message me directly through the site. Cool. All right. Let's do it. Let's get into it. I know there's something I'm missing, but that's fine. Oh, donations. I think my PayPal is on here somewhere. You can do stickers, super chats, whatever it's called. That is not something you need to do. This is all free. I have an understanding with Spirit that every Thursday I'm going to come onto this channel and do free readings as a way of just kind of giving back the energy. If you are called to, like I say, it's not necessary to do that, but if you are called to, that's great. I give everything to charity. And actually was, I know I talked about it last week, and I wanted to do something that's like kind of like military connected. I was researching, I think I landed on a charity. It's the Gary Sinise Foundation. So here, as soon as I get my business account set up this week, we will be doing that. I will share the receipts with you. I think so far in the hopper, we've got probably like $300. So that is cool. But I don't keep any of the donations, but they are appreciated, of course. I'm just going to, before I jump into the live, folks waiting to come on the live stream, I'm going to start some questions. Thank you all for being here. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. I appreciate you. And we'll be grateful forever. Also, hit the like button if you're here and you enjoy the content. If you don't like the content, hit the like button as well. That's appreciated. All right. Marnie, yes, there is room. Because I've done kind of a shit job of advertising them, so there is room. All right, Flora, got it. Sally, I got it. Aurora, got it. Tangerine. All right, I'm going to bring on Jacob. Jacob, are you ready? I hope you are, because this is happening. My friend, Jacob.
Hey, good evening. How are we doing?
I'm very well. Thank you for asking. There you are. I see you. All right, welcome. How can I help you tonight?
Yeah, I was just curious if you see when I will be finding a job, and if you have any further details on, the type of company or industry that you see.
Yeah, immediately what I'm getting, I think you're going to have a couple options, because I'm getting something that's a little bit more like, it feels to me like stable, like it becomes your thing, or it's something that kind of goes on. There might be some temporary things that are offered to you, or things that don't quite match up. I've actually got this kind of in the retail space, and I'm not saying that you're going to be selling things. You might actually be working like HR or, doing some kind of management, but I feel like there's something connected to or adjacent to we're selling things. There's like a promotional aspect to this. So you might be in marketing, I'm not sure, but there's a connection to like a retail company or a company that would be promoting products. Does that make sense to you? You can say no, it's okay.
I don't work. I've never worked in like retail or had an interest to, but I work in sales, like business to business sales.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I didn't see you like being a cashier or anything, or stocking shelves. That's not what we're doing here. But I do see you kind of working in an ancillary position that's connected to what we would consider like a product based or retail kind of style business. So I do see something for you. It feels to me like you really get into a position or grow into a position kind of mid to late summer. But I also think there might be some other opportunities before then, but that's kind of where I think the sweet spot or the kind of perfect fit kind of comes into play.
Gotcha.
So you might actually grab something before then and then find something better.
I see. I see. Okay. All right. I appreciate it.
Do you also do any like podcasting or something where your voice is heard?
I don't. No, I've never done that.
Have you considered it?
No, I wouldn't even know what to talk about.
Okay. There's something here that's also making me feel like, and once again, not saying you're going to work on a radio station, but I'm hearing like voice, voice, voice. So there might be an opportunity coming up as well where, and it could be just something as a passion project or you helping a friend, but there's something connected to like a podcast or, helping somebody that works in radio or something like that.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. No, I was just planning to like record a video tomorrow because I just recently was laid off my job.
All right.
And so I was going to post like a video on LinkedIn, just sharing that I'm open to work and just to tell a little bit about myself and what I'm looking for.
Okay.
So
It could be some of that energy, but it's like what I'm hearing is your voice needs to be heard or something where you're telling a story. So if that's what you're feeling, and yeah, that energy feels correct.
Gotcha.
What I'm saying is that feels powerful.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's a good idea, by the way.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Do you ever see me like pursuing any sort of like hypnotist or therapy or like healing work? Like eventually later down the road, do you see like if that would be successful for me or?
Yeah, I think it's there. It's a little down the road just because I'm almost getting like they're showing me there's a few other off ramps I think you're going to take for some other things that are good opportunities. But yeah, I think it's years down the road, and I think it kind of it's not going to look the way you think it's going to look is kind of what I'm predicting. But I do sense a almost like I want to go into like shamanism or something like that where there's a little bit of maybe even a deeper spiritual kind of thing going on. So I do think that's going to be a bit of a journey that goes a bit down the road. But yeah, I do sense there's something there with that as well.
Cool. Okay. Awesome.
You're just not going to focus on it probably for the next couple of years.
Yeah. Like I haven't really like explored it to that at that level yet. But it's just something that's always kind of like been in the back of my mind. So.
All right, my friend. Well, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah. I don't know how do I get off here?
Oh, I'll kick you out.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
No problem. Good night. Fantastic. All right. Before I bring on Mel, I will do this one. Hi, Michelle. Hey, Stopher. Does my daughter Candace, that's passed over 5 years ago, does she have any messages for her daughters? I don't normally do mediumship, but this is kind of like, hold on. Yeah, so what I'm getting when I connect with this energy, Michelle, is there's an immediate kind of understanding that there have been some of course since Candace left, she's given me a sense that it was, of course there's no good time to leave, right? But I'm getting a connection to almost like biological father or the father that was supposed to be kind of responsible for her daughters. There was a rough time of it here. So there's a real kind of acknowledgement of some of the rough situations that happened specifically with that relationship, whether it was just being absent or I feel like it wasn't quite about being absent. I feel like what she's showing me is there was actually some not so great moments here. So just knowing that she's given them a big hug. She knows what they went through with, the father-like situation. So, and there's of course, there's a real pride, and also she's not connecting you. Would you also have kind of stepped in to care for them or to protect them? 'Cause she's giving me more of a sense of protection here. So there's an acknowledgement, a thank you for that as well. Um, but oh, I'm just looking here to see if you're still here. But that's kind of what's she's also kind of talking about seeing it through to education as well. So this is a big kind of when she was here, if you would understand that she would have really been focused on. I feel like it's a specific type of education. So she wants to also acknowledge this being something that's we kind of had to navigate it, but we're actually getting there, is what she's telling me. So she wants to thank you for also facilitating the specific way that they're being educated, because it feels like more than just, oh, they're doing well in school. She's showing me that there's a little bit of a higher need or higher education happening. So let me know if you can understand that. But she's kind of here in the journey. Um, she overdosed. Yeah. So yeah, that's coming forward as like an apology, and then also for kind of leaving them with an even, not worse situation, I guess is kind of how it comes forward. So yeah, she's definitely around them, guiding them. All right, thank you for the question. All right, let's do this, Mel. Hey, Mel, welcome back.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you doing?
Good. I'm good.
All right,
Can
how
you
can
hear
I help
me
you?
okay?
I can hear you. I can see you. Everything is fantastic.
Okay, great. So I just wanted to see if you have any insights on my finances for 2024, what direction they be going, any advice that Spirit has for me?
Yeah, you're in a keep energy. So and let me explain what I mean by that. When I feel into finances, a lot of times it's like I feel like I'm in the energy of it's okay this year for me to kind of send out my money and my resources, because I'm actually going to get in return, whether it's more money or just the proper amount of energy back. I feel like you're in a little bit, especially this first part of the year, a little bit more of a protect your so whatever's coming in. And I predict that it's going to stay kind of status quo for the first 6 months of this year. Um, so kind of protect it a little bit more. So now's maybe not the time to like go on vacations and kind of, because I feel like the energy just doesn't match what comes back. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I feel like when we get past like June, July, I wouldn't be surprised if there is somehow. It's interesting. I do feel like there's like a little bit of like a putting energy out to get some back. So I don't know exactly how that kind of meets what you're doing. It feels work wise, but I do sense that work actually brings you a little bit more after kind of the middle part of the year. So there's either a raise or there's some kind of investment you make to where you're making more money, putting in more hours, whatever the case is. So I've got a little bit of a bump happening after July or right around July.
Okay.
Um,
I'm not employed right now. What kind of work do you see?
let's look into that. What were you doing before?
One time I was working at a school for behavioral therapy.
Have you ever worked with, because now I'm being brought into like almost like and it feels also like a therapy type of thing, but I feel like there's animals involved. Have you ever worked in like an animal therapy kind of situation?
No.
Okay. I do sense that there's opportunities here to work with children again and also with animals. Okay. Do you like animals? I hope.
I do. I mean, yeah, I do. I just don't know what capacity I'd work with animals, you know?
Yeah. Keep it in mind. It's not written in stone, but I am predicting that there will be an opportunity or at least a conversation where there's something that's offered or something that's kind of sparked here. And then of course, if it's something you're not comfortable with, you don't do it, right? So you get
Yeah.
to decide how that turns out. But I do sense that you're kind of in the, I guess it kind of remains in that therapy or help kind of lane. Because it doesn't
Okay.
feel quite like medical, like nursing, but it does feel like kind of helping people along in one way or another, but it feels more like a therapy or a counseling or something like that.
Okay. Um, I do readings and stuff for people, but I've been offered lately to get more into real estate or doing notary work, that sort of stuff. So I was considering possibly starting that.
Yeah, so this could be where I was feeling. Remember, I said like around summertime, we're feeling like so where we have to like kind of put some money in to get some money back. So that's perhaps because I used to have my real estate license, so I know you have to like pay a decent amount to go through the process of getting your license, and I think the same with notary. So that's kind of a similar energy as what I was feeling. So that may be it. I don't know,
Okay.
but it's a situation where if it feels right and there's an opportunity to invest that money, I do feel like whatever comes back, or you'll start something where the energy is coming back appropriately.
Okay.
Is it going to be like gangbusters, make a lot of money at first? I don't know, but it does seem like it kind of gets things moving along because I was sensing this like bump in what's coming in. But yeah, definitely that's probably why I was feeling that first 6 months. It feels like just keep whatever you do have and really protect it. It's not the time to like spend or invest until we get to summertime.
Okay. Thank
All
you for
right.
that.
I hope that helps.
Yeah, it does. Thanks.
All right. Good luck with everything, Mel.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. Before I bring Rosemary on, I'm going to hop into the comments. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to hide that. Sorry. Great Dane. I grew up with Great Danes. They were my brothers and sisters because my mom was, she showed them and she had a lot of them. And I always tell her that she loved the dogs more than me. I was jealous. Anyway, okay, Great Dane. Hi, Stopher. Where does the pain in my eye come from? Okay, and I'll reiterate, of course, I'm not a doctor, and this is not medical advice. This is not a diagnosis. I'm just going to give you kind of what the energy is taking me to. And I do feel like it is something that's connected to either circulation or it could be like hypertension. So I'm not sure if you've had any issues with blood pressure, but I feel like it's something that's kind of like, it's not hard to describe. Okay. So it doesn't feel to me like it's something that's directly like right here. It's something that's kind of going like all over the body that's causing some situations where you're feeling pain in that area. So that's kind of what I'm getting. So I'm being brought to heart, circulation, blood pressure, that type of thing. Get that checked out. But that's where I'm being brought to. So of course, work with your medical professionals, get that checked out. All right. A lot of job and career questions tonight. All right, CJ, thank you for being here. Already ready for Valentine's with the picture. I love it. Do you see any changes for me? Increase in pay or advancement in career opportunities for 2024? Here's what I get with that, CJ, is and let me know if you could understand any of this, or if you can't, feel free to put into the comments. It feels to me like wherever you're working, the environment you're in is a little bit competitive. So is it possible? Yeah, but I've actually got some energy that's pushing back against that for this year. I wish I had better news, and I hope I'm wrong. But I feel like pay and advancement kind of, if it is happening, it's kind of pushed back till later this year. But I actually feel more opportunity for that to happen like this time next year, or just a little like almost like February, March of next year. So I wouldn't be surprised if it kind of is dangled in front of you, but doesn't happen until this time next year is kind of what I'm predicting as it sits now. Of course, that can change with, somebody else leaves, or if somebody else, does something stupid, or you do something extraordinary. But as things are kind of gliding along now, that's kind of where I have it. But keep along the path because I do feel like it will happen in this environment. So I don't feel like this has to be a situation where you jump to another place or another career. Thank you for the what are these, stickers or chats? Hi Alicia, thank you. Soul to Soul, thank you so much. That is Mel, thank you, appreciate it. All right, we'll bring on Rosemary. Hey, my dear.
Hi, Stopher. Nice to see you again.
Likewise, welcome back. How can I help you today?
I've always wondered what happened to my high school friend Pam. She was a very talented artist. Um, I know she moved from Peoria out to Phoenix, Arizona, where it was warmer for her joints. But I
Pam,
haven't
can I
heard of
stop
her.
you real quick? There's a lot of feedback, or there's something going on in the background.
Oh, I'm in a Subway store.
Oh, okay, okay. Is there any way you can maybe come back when you're outside the store, because it's extremely distracting?
Oh, okay. I can step out of.
Yeah, if you don't mind. I don't want you to get out of line or miss your sandwich.
I was just sitting here because there's heat. Okay.
No worries. All right, so I know we're talking
Okay.
about Pam. She was an artist. She left Peoria. What happened?
Yeah.
And you're just asking what happened to her?
Yeah. I couldn't find her on Facebook or anything.
What's the last year that you saw her?
Oh, probably. Gee, I don't know if it was 1972 or before that, because I went away from Peoria into the Air Force, and then I moved to California.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I don't have a lot of energy for this Pam. So if I were to tell you something, I'd be making it up.
Yeah, I wonder if she's still on Earth with us, but she
Yeah,
was very talented.
yeah. I'm not picking up anything that leads me to believe I'm connected with spirit. That doesn't mean that she may not be in spirit, or I don't know. I'm just not getting anything that I would feel comfortable giving you that I think is her connection, whether it's a living connection or a past connection.
Yeah. Do you see any future with me with a man named Dave who has come into my life?
I do. He's got a few things to tie up on his end. I feel like there might even, I'm not saying it's a previous relationship, but it feels like to me like he's got some baggage that he needs to kind of maybe tie up and set aside outside the front door, so to speak. So maybe keep a little bit of distance, or just kind of be careful with that until that's done. But I think once he kind of gets past some of that, it feels to me like he can really be fully present. And then that's when you can really see what the potential is. I think there's a lot of potential. Whether or not you guys end up in a strong committed relationship is up to you, of course. It takes two. But I feel like there's a lot of potential, but he's got to kind of disconnect with some stuff that, he's looking in the rearview mirror still a little bit. Does that make
Mm,
sense to you?
it does.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and right now the message here is just really have fun with him, because I think what I'm getting is he's a really fun energy, and he's kind of
Mm,
taking some of this, he's really lightening the mood for you too. So just really enjoy that kind of banter and that fun energy, because that's kind of what
mhm,
he's bringing to the table right now. That's the energy he's got available. So really
mhm.
enjoy that.
Okay, great. Well, thank you.
All right, good luck with it, Rosemary. All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Cool. All right, if you're here and you have not hit the like button, please do it. I will love you forever. Sharon Sipe, thank you for being here. Oh, I forgot last week to say thank you to my moderators. You guys and gals are amazing. I appreciate you. I love you. Let's see. All right, more job stuff. Tonight is it's a job fair is what this is. All right, will my hard working pay off? Will my hard work, yeah, will my hard work pay off at this job, or should I move on? Well, a couple things here, Sally. Thank you for the question. As I kind of flow into this energy, it's like, I'm being drawn to the words payoff, because this is relative. It's like, what does that mean? What energies are you looking for? When we talk about pay, specifically finances, I feel like you're just under the kind of bar of what you are actually should be valued at, or what you think you should be valued at. So you're going to be under the bar on that. I have a hard time seeing this particular job getting you there. Whether or not you could get that somewhere else, I don't know that, but I feel like you're always going to be kind of under the bar there. I do think in a sense, the environment pays off a little bit, because I do feel like there's a good environment that kind of charges you a little bit. So in that way, I feel like it does pay off, and you do get back some of the energy that you're putting in it from that standpoint. But as far as like pay going up or even promotions, I correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not seeing like a lot of ladder rungs here. It feels to me like this is a situation where there's just not a lot of, the ceiling is low, is what I'm trying to say. So I think you can get a lot out of it, but overall, I think you're going to feel like you're under the bar, if you know what I mean there. So the short answer is you might get frustrated. Actually, have you moving on probably by later this year. Would make a lot of sense. Let me know if you can understand it, if that makes sense, or if it doesn't. Hi, Scorpio Mama. Thank you for being here. Brenda D, as always. Amanda Carroll, thank you. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, we could all ask job stuff. We could. Let's see what this is. Elizabeth, thank you for being here. When we forgive souls on the other side, does it help them in any way? Never thought about it. I don't personally think so, because here's what I get, and I'm not going to say this is a blanket statement. If you don't believe this, then I'm not saying you're wrong or I'm right, but just based on like when I connect with spirit, even when, and you'll hear me say this when I'm connecting with spirit, is it's like their version of an apology. Spirit's not sad, spirit's not worried, spirit's just like perfect energy, right? So they do want us to have forgiveness. They do want us there, to kind of get closer to that type of energy while we're here. So but yeah, I don't feel like they're held back from things that have happened here. I really don't. I don't get that energy from them. They're in a good spot. They leave everything. All those human desires, all those human fears, they just kind of leave it. And they show me that. They just like kind of drop it. And then yeah. Anyway, I don't think so is the answer. All right. DJ, thank you for the donation. All right, cool picture. Tangerine Cottage. A couple things. So I'm also kind of getting into August before we see like a change. For some reason, your money and I guess like what's coming in feels really held back right now. So I'm not sure if you're in a position where you're not working as much as you were or at all, but it feels a little held back. I do sense around August of this year, I know a lot of you folks are in the summertime energy. That's when I feel like there is a bit of a change. And what I'm hearing is like, I feel like I want to say like scared money don't make money. So there might be, this is just the energy coming through, that there might be an opportunity to also have a little bit of an investment where you have to put some money down to, like I was telling, I don't know if it was Mel before, if it's like getting a license or getting a certificate or kind of investing in some kind of schooling, there might be that opportunity too, where it could seem like the money is a little tight, but I feel like if you have that opportunity to invest that in yourself, whatever it is, as long as you're comfortable, of course. But I believe that energy would come back to you, being more money. So August, things get better, but there's also an opportunity to kind of send some money out so that more energy can come back in that realm. Good luck. What am I doing? All right, my friend from Indiana. Please, would you tell me something comforting about my divorce mediation on? I don't, so just what I'm getting is I don't sense a lot of possibility for there to be, I don't sense there's going to be like a resolution, because they're kind of showing me almost like an incomplete story. So don't be surprised if you have to go back again for the mediation, or there's like part two, or maybe even part 3 or 4. I don't know, but it kind of continues. I do feel like, and unfortunately, I think it's going to be a little frustrating. So there might be some kind of over dramatization on the other person's part or end. Prepare yourself. I don't think it's going to be like crazy, like bad news or anything like that. It's just giving me kind of never ending story kind of energy. So be prepared to have to go back or do a little bit more work on this with your attorney and your team. So that's kind of what I'm getting. So it's not horrible news, but it's not great news. Once again, my opinion of the energy. You are welcome, Tangerine. All right, Anya. Is there a chance of love interest coming my way this year? Of course, there's a chance. Here's what I get with this, Anya. I think I've told you this before. If there is a connection, it doesn't feel like to me like it's brand new. So, and it doesn't mean you have to reconcile with an ex. That's not what I'm saying. It could be, but I feel like there's somebody that's already somehow connected to you that is an opportunity to build something in terms of love. It feels to me like it much more is like a friend at first, and then we build. So it's one of those kind of slow build and see how it goes. So the answer is yes, but I almost think that it's a situation where you don't quite see it until we get into next year. But there is someone I think that's already around you that the energies on both sides feel like there's an opportunity to go beyond friendship. But I just think it's a real slow kind of process where you may not even realize that's happening. So just continue to be open, I guess, is what your energies are kind of directing here. But the short answer is yes, but also I think we flip the calendar again before we get to that real romantic part of it. All right, Caitlyn. I'm bringing Caitlyn on. This is happening. Hey, Caitlyn. She ran away. Caitlyn, why do you hate me? she couldn't do it. All right, guys, cheer on Caitlyn. Bring her back. You can do it. All right, Caitlyn, I see you again. I'll bring you in just a moment. Shika, you see my ankle's recovering fine. Any coming through? This is feels like there was like a severe injury or a surgery, because I feel like this has to do with stability. So I do think this is a long recovery. of course, not a doctor, so this is not a diagnosis or any kind of medical advice, but I think we're in like a 6 to 8 month range as far as really feeling like comfortable, right? Fully comfortable. So I think you've got a long way to go, and there's going to be like a real cautiousness to, and I think there's also just a mental kind of healing that needs to happen around this. So we're all sending you a lot of energy, a lot of healing energy your way, but I think you've got a long road with it. But once you kind of get there, I don't see like it doesn't feel to me like there's additional setbacks, because I think you've kind of got those out of the way. It feels to me like there's been a real up and down, like a roller coaster with this. But I've currently got it like a 6 to 8 month before you really feel comfortable with what's going on there. Let me know how you understand that, Ashika. All right, we're going to bring on Caitlyn. She's back. We made up. She didn't break up with me forever. How's it going?
It's going well. How are you?
Excellent. Do you work with my husband?
I do. Yes.
I'm psychic. No, I saw him say your name, so I put 2 and 2 together. Thank you for being here. How can I help you?
Yeah, I recently lost a very dear old childhood friend, and I don't want to speak for other friends of mine, but I personally felt like I didn't really have an opportunity for a lot of closure with her.
Yeah.
It was sort of a tumultuous ending to her existence, at least here. And I'm just wondering if she's coming through, and if she is, kind of how she's feeling, and if there's anything that she feels that she wants to say. I'm so curious.
Let me see. What was her name?
Daphne.
Yeah. Wow. She went through it. She was really going through it, and I feel like what she's showing me is not being able to look in the mirror. So she's coming through with some real regrets about how she just wasn't equipped to deal with some things that she was dealing with, and I feel like she just put it on everybody else. There was a real projection here, but she's showing me a mirror that she could not look herself in the mirror. And would you understand? I mean, she's telling me like we know what happened, but also I feel like some people are kind of maybe telling themselves a different story about what happened to her or how this passing happened. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Some people aren't being honest with themselves. She's saying, the story. So she is taking responsibility for what happened to her. But she's in a much better place. She literally, I was kind of at a loss right now because she's showing me all the stuff she went through. It's not your fault, is what she says, but she's taking responsibility for the things that she did and the things that she dealt with. It's like she feels like she brought a lot of it on herself. She could have done a better job. She just wasn't equipped with the ability to deal with it. Okay. Also, she also dealt with stuff at the hands of other people as well when she was younger. You understand that?
Yeah.
So that's not an excuse, is what she says. She says, but she was just set up for a rough time. It was like shit coming and rolling downhill at her. So she's relieved of all that. Okay. You're saying there, and I feel like there was between you an explosion that happened before her passing. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Yeah. She says all is forgiven. It's not something that she worries about on the other side. Her energy did not take that with her. And she wants you to release that as well, because she shows me like an explosion. I feel like there were curse words. I feel like there were things said that none of us meant.
That makes a lot of sense.
Did you have I feel like I've also got a puppy here, a dog. And I feel like I'm going to say, did you have a dogs when you were younger?
Yeah, I when my grandmother couldn't take care of her dogs anymore, we took her dogs in. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, I feel like we're going back. Do you remember their names? I feel like I want to say like Boggy or Buggy or something.
There was Freckles, there was Blue, and Honey.
Interesting. I don't know that it's Honey, but I feel like I want to say Buggy, Biggie. There's like a different like GG. So, but I know we're going back a ways. I can tell you that this isn't an animal that you've had in the past couple of years. We're going back to like childhood. So I want you to just to like remember I said it, but that dog is here and very much connected to you as well. But I actually felt that before you were talking about Daphne. I was like, okay, there's a puppy here. So you got some dog energy around you as well. But all those connections stay with us.
Okay.
But ask around if there was like I feel like I want to say Buggy, Biggie, Boggy, something weird like that. Anyway.
It'll probably come to me later. Yeah.
Yeah, oftentimes it does. Any questions for Daphne? I know it's kind of a quick little mini reading here, but that energy came forward pretty. You saw me. I was like pretty overtaken. Like I know she went through it.
Yeah, it was the last time I spoke to her was about 5 years ago. Her and I were thick as thieves from the time we were 10 years old until right about before we turned 30. And her she was killing herself with alcohol, and it just got to the point where we were on a trip together and it was so hard for me to watch. It turned into like this really big explosion of a fight, and I told her I couldn't bear to watch it anymore, and that I wanted her to reach out to me when she finally got help. And the next time I was in her presence was unfortunately at her funeral. So it was really hard because as a friend, you always think back, gosh, was there anything that I could have done differently? And there's a lot of regret on my end thinking about if there's something that I could have done. So it brings me a lot of peace hearing that she is at peace. I'm curious if her mother is coming through at all.
I don't necessarily feel that energy right now.
Okay.
Do you know there's a reference here to it's a tax day, which for me, I think it's moved, but like middle April. Because I think tax day has always been like April 15th. Is there a date that's important to you or her that's in the middle of April?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. I'm gonna write it down though, and think back to it.
I feel like this has to do with she's taking me to like a hospital or like a clinic or something. I almost feel like what she's showing me is somebody either got help or somebody went to the hospital or there was like I say, she's taking me to almost like a clinic or a hospital or like getting help or so think about it.
Yeah.
Remember I said it. It's the middle of April where she's taking me.
One of her and I, we were sort of a tripod, her, Lisa, and I, and Lisa was the one who was visiting her in the hospital. I wouldn't be surprised if Lisa's name is coming through because Lisa was the one that was essentially giving me the information about her status and how she was doing. And I know that Lisa was spent a lot of time with her at the hospital.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe talk to Lisa and see if there was something like in mid-April. And I feel like it would have been, how long did you say she's been gone? 5 years?
No, she passed away just a few weeks
Recently.
ago.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
But there was a time, I don't know exactly what the date was. I will find out. There was a date though that she went to a family function, and when the family saw her, they knew that she wasn't well, and they immediately sent her to the hospital.
Okay.
I'll find out what that date was. Maybe
Yeah,
that.
she's just giving me this as like almost like a pivotal moment for her. Where she could have maybe went one way or the other, but in the end, she's taking responsibility for her actions.
It does make sense because there was a hospital visit where the doctors basically told her, "You're at the crossroads right now. You can
Mhm.
take one way or the other." And her response was to unfortunately go down the wrong path.
All right. One last thing I'll leave you with is she wants you to think of her when you see rainbows.
Okay.
Okay. Does that make sense for you? Is there a story here?
She was the most colorful person.
I love it.
Literally just an explosion of color around her at
I
all
love it.
times. You go into her home and it was what her house is basically like a Keith Haring painting. It was just color,
Okay.
vibrancy everywhere. So it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's just going to be her way. When you see them, she's going to tap you on your shoulder. You're automatically going to think of her. So that's just her way of saying, "Hey, I'm here," and giving you a big hug.
Got it.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Well, thanks for stopping on. Thanks for
Thank
supporting.
you. Of course. My
All
pleasure.
right. Nice meeting you, Caitlin. Bye-bye.
Nice meeting you too. Bye.
Okie dokie smokies. Let's do a couple more and then I'm out of here. I've got some chocolate croissants to eat. I'm so healthy. Let's do this. It's kind of broad, but we'll see what comes up. Dee Dee, thank you for being here. Any messages of what to look forward to in 2024? I like how you put that. All right. You can really lean into, and this isn't a cycle that everybody's in, so sorry if it sounds general, but there's this opportunity like newness. So bringing new energy into your life is really kind of there for you to capture. You're kind of already in there. So, if you've thought about getting a new puppy, bring in the new puppy. If you've thought about, or cat, whatever you like, if you've thought about getting yourself out there, meeting new people, this is really the time. Like I say, you're in this energy. We don't have to wait for a certain, you're there. So, don't be afraid to be excited about doing some new stuff. I feel like there's so many new things coming your way if you just allow yourself to bring them in. So that's kind of what I'm getting. A new car, whatever it is. I actually feel pretty strong about the new car or the change to the car situation. All right. I don't sense any like crazy like financial thing happening. I feel like it's kind of a status quo, but that doesn't feel bad to me. Yeah. Also, I'm not sure where you're at in the world, but I feel like I want to take you on a vacation to, where are we going? Take me to almost like Central or South America. So if you've thought about that, I feel like there's going to be also some opportunities or conversations at least happening about going to like Costa Rica or something like that. Brazil. I feel like I'm in that area. So yeah, there could be even a nice trip for you if you want it. Have fun. All right, let's see what you crazy kids are saying. All right, I'll do one more. It'll probably be actually like 3 more, but hey, Ocean Garnet, thank you for being here. Nice to see you. Gina, as always, nice to see you. I think I got most of them, yeah. All right, Myrit. Well, I was holding my most recent ex back from calling / texting me. When will he do so? Well, he's very busy. He's kind of like this is a familiar energy to me. He's a I mean, there's some other things going on, but one of the things is he's actually kind of his energy is just kind of spent. So he kind of lets that get in the way a little bit too. And it feels a little bit intimidated. I think he's worried about what you're going to say. There's some fear. There's fear at play. So you might have to reach out first. I don't know if you're already reaching out, but there's something here where he feels he's struggling with it. There's some fear that's holding him back. So that's kind of the motivator that I'm getting. I think I did everything. I think I did everything perfect. I did everything right, and they indicted me. All right, friends. Let's see. How do I feel about the solar eclipse? March or April 8th? What's the question? Do you think it's going to happen in March, or I don't know anything about the solar eclipse, but I'm excited for it. Is that the one where you're not supposed to look at it directly? You're supposed to have like some fancy glasses or something? Any improvements in work for me next year? Here's the energy with that, Marnie. I think you're going to have to. There's possibilities here, but this is a situation to me where you're going to have to like really do a lot of work because it feels like almost imagine like swimming. What do they say? Swimming upstream or going against the wind or the grain. I just feel like things are like against you, but it doesn't mean you can't surpass them or circumnavigate them. So yes, I do feel there's a good possibility, but you're going to have to work a lot harder or kind of like swim through the yucky stuff first. So if you got the drive, if you're willing to put it into like a overdrive or hyperdrive, I think you're good. Other than that, if you don't, then yeah, it's going to be a rough road. That's what I'm getting. Here I am being the bad news psychic again. Makes sense. You'd have fear. Yeah, you intimidate him. But it doesn't come from a bad place, Myra. It feels like because I do think he wants to interact with you. It's just he's afraid of what the outcome. It's almost like once he feels like once he puts it out there and it's out of his hands a little bit. So this is his way of controlling, not getting rejected or not having a bad situation. Oh, how can I not know about the solar eclipse? Because I choose not to know about it. I don't care about it. I don't not care about it. I don't, it's just not on my radar. I know who's going to be in the Super Bowl. And yeah, I know my team's not going to be in the Super Bowl. Yeah, I'm into different stuff. I don't know. I don't know if that was a dig, Jana, or I appreciate it. It's just not what I'm into. Swimming upstream as hard as I can, and it's exhausting. I know. Yeah, keep going. It seems to me like you might get to like fall a little bit because it seems a little far away. You've still got some stream to swim up, but it does make sense to me that you get to like a point where you just kind of break through, and then you get what you want. But for a while, you just got to work it a little extra hard. Danielle, any love partner coming in for 2024? Be careful this year. I feel like a yes, but also it's another situation where this person could be a lot of work. They might be worth it in the end, but it's not the easy. It's not the easy one. It's not the like puzzle pieces fitting right in there. I feel like 2025 is more of a love year for you, just because I don't feel it. I don't really. It seems a little more difficult this year, and I don't think that's necessarily. It's not your fault. It's just like kind of how the energy seemed to line up. So I have a possibility coming in this year, but I don't think it's the end all be all. How about that? I hope I'm wrong. Yes, Taylor Swift. Who said Taylor Swift? So a lot of people are like mad that she's. I don't understand what's going on with the Taylor Swift. People don't like her. Somebody update me, because this is another thing where I'm like, why is there outrage for Taylor Swift? What did she do? What did she do? Tell me. She's been a bad girl. The Magas don't like Taylor. The damn Magas. I don't know about the Magas. She's a dim. What's a dim? Telling peeps to vote. Oh, because she tells people to vote. Okay. She should stop that shit. All right. She's encouraging people to vote. That seems like a good thing to me, isn't it? People need to leave Taylor alone. She's taking away from the football. But there's all kinds of different stuff. Like football's, it's entertainment. There's all kinds of different silly stuff. Because she was born. I like that. Yeah, damn her. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe people are just threatened. I think she's fine. I like her. I don't listen to her music. But anyway, thank you guys for listening to me. I'm going to go. But all right. Good night. Love you guys. Thank you for being here. I will be back next Thursday. If you have any suggestions or things you want me to talk about in the future or special content you'd like me to create, put it in the comments. Hit the like button on the way out if you have not. Subscribe if you have not. Bye. Good night, everyone.